Hi, so welcome to my YouTube channel and my very first YouTube video. Among many things that I'm feeling today, excitement, nervousness, enthusiasm, I'm also actually very anxious. So that's why today I thought it'll be appropriate to talk about anxiety and share my thoughts and journey regarding the same. So, anxiety in itself is not a problem. It could just mean that you're insecure about what you're not prepared for. It's a very normal human reaction, in fact. You could be anxious about your work performance, your school performances, you could be anxious about your relationships. A lot of factors can contribute to your anxiety. You have to ask yourself, what is the cause behind your anxiety? For instance, in my struggle to cope with self-created anxiety, I had to sit with myself and try to understand what exactly it is that made me feel the way it did. And I came to some conclusions. One, I realized the more I obsessed over the outcome, the more anxious I got. It never resulted in anything good. I was not making any effort, I didn't make any progress, but what it did was it disabled me and mentally paralyzed me from actually taking an action towards a goal that I really cared about. So to be able to identify my problem, I had to categorize my anxiety-related causes into two categories. Number one, is it created by an external environment? And number two, is it created by myself? This made me understand where I need to put my effort into. Maybe it's the thought of speaking to your boss or your senior that's sending jitters down your spine. Maybe it's the exam that you know you did bad at. Maybe you just don't have it in you to go and talk on a camera in front of an audience who may or may not like your content. Whatever the case might be, one thing you have to understand is the more you obsess over a reaction of somebody else, or the more you obsess over the result, the less confident you're going to get about it. Speaking personally from experience, right from the fact that I had to select a topic for this first video on YouTube, down to scripting and actually getting on with my filming was a nerve-wracking experience for me. So much so that it actually physically prevented me from taking any step. And that's all because of anxiety. So that made me realize that when you're constantly focused on the future, on the result, and you're fretting over small details which don't really matter in the long term, that's when things start getting out of hand, and that's a habit that I really wanted to stop. So I came up with a couple of solutions. So number one, reserve your thinking time only for a blocked period of time. So what it does is it lets your brain get thinking out of its system so that you can actually move on to tasks where it requires your action muscle. And when you keep doing it again and again, you're actually strengthening your action muscles in your mind, therefore making you a more productive and efficient person. So what helped me in the past and what's helping me now in my present, getting my goals done, is just slotting, let's say, an hour or two where I write down everything that bothers me and everything that's going on in my mind, and I purposefully am mindful for the rest of the time where I have to take action. Number two is putting a timer on, but only for the most important tasks. The thing with our mind is, the more time we give ourselves to complete a dedicated task, our mind procrastinates more. I mean, at least that's true for me. If I had given myself, for instance, a day to write the script for my first video, I don't think I would have finished it ever. Instead, what I did was, I allotted 45 minutes to complete this script. And once the timer hit the alarm button, I was actually done with my script, to my amazement. So, number three, staying in the present or mindfulness is not a new concept. But what we struggle to grasp is, being in the present is not an instruction, it's a state of mind. And state of mind takes practice. What we all end up doing is, just because it didn't work for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or for a day, we just give it up. But like I said, it's like a habit. Would you stop going to gym if you didn't see improvement for, let's say, a week? I mean, if you actually do that, you will never progress. So you can't expect progress if you're always quitting. developing muscle for action, developing your mental skills for staying in the present. These are all lifetime achievements that you have to accomplish and you have to keep progressing towards. The more you practice, the stronger you get. So don't be miserable next time if you actually are not able to focus longer than 2 minutes. It's just a matter of time. With this, I truly hope that the tips I've given and the solutions I've given have actually helped you and are going to help you empower yourself to fight against thoughts which are not really helping you get anywhere in life like they did for me. And if you have any tips or solutions that you think have helped you, please feel free to comment down below and stay tuned for more in Dwell.